It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
Feels good, but the main thing is to win. And our body of work doesn't really mean anything if we don't win the game. But I think just as a team, we're trying to realize in order for us to, even put ourselves up in a position to win, we got to play like that every night. We got to compete. We got to fly around. We got to communicate. We got to, basically all the little stuff because we don't have our two main guys who can go ISO and, put us on our back and go in. We have guys like that out and Walker out, Nurk out. We got to find ways to pick up what they give us on the floor. And it's way more fun when we play hard. And obviously we don't have the result, but, we can feel good about, some of the stuff we're doing out there for sure.
There's Keontae George, who had 30 points, but the final 4 minutes, the Jazz were not good. They got outscored 12-2, which, of course, Tankathon 2026 was exactly what they needed. So they lose 106-102 to the Warriors as the 6-point lead evaporates. Excuse me, the little 76ers.
You and your Bay Area.
As they evaporate and watch it all just scatter to the 4 wins. But, hey, they needed the loss, so they got it. There you go.
They only have 4 wins? Scattered to the 4 wins?
No. Wins with a D. Not four victories.
I'd grade him as a C, though. I thought it was okay. I wouldn't give him a D. Why are you so harsh?
Free association this early. It's exhausting.
I wouldn't give him a D.
Jazz going back-to-back, playing the Wizards in Washington, D.C. tonight.
I disagree with Keontae.
About what?
That your body of work doesn't matter when you lose. Not now.
I can see where you're going.
All these kids are out here trying to prove themselves. Everybody who played for the Jazz against the Philadelphia Warriors
has a lot to prove.
You like the Philadelphia Warriors? It's just you didn't hear that. So you said the loss to the Warriors.
I caught it.
I heard it,
but I thought you were going back to the original,
yeah.
The Philadelphia Warriors. Wilt Distilled.
Way back in the day. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. It was even before my time, but something slipped. The gears are slipping this morning.
Is the Warriors that are in San Francisco, were they the Philadelphia one?
Yeah.
They just moved around?
Uh-huh.
Did they move to the Bay Area from Philly?
I think they did.
Okay. But all these kids, every last one of them is trying to prove himself.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for that. I was listening to the NBA network this morning driving in as I was flicking around, and they're talking about, tanking. Well, if the team doesn't care, why should I care? Blah, blah, blah. I don't see it in the case of the Jazz. Granted, they're trying to lose management, but the players aren't. All these kids, every single one of them, was out there playing hard. Can you look at anyone and say, man, he was really dogging it? No.
No, the effort was good in that one.
Yeah. And it's not like if they were playing for something, would there be a guarantee that Markkanen would have been playing? You don't know that. And so I think that these things do mean something. And so I was fine watching that game. It was not the premier players. I understand that. But they're all playing hard, and everything they do matters. It matters to them, matters to the team, maybe matters to somebody else in the league down the line. Who knows?
They played 11 guys, and there are only 2 guys who have nobody has a guarantee, but only 2 guys have a reasonable assurance or pretty good odds, however you want to phrase it.
It's a wonderful life, the backcourt.
Yes. Exactly.
They have a wonderful life. I've been saying it for weeks.
George and Bailey are the only 2 who are thinking the odds are better than not that we will have a wonderful life next year. Everyone else is like, can I get into this rotation next year?
You mean to tell me Mo Bamba's not out there trying to give everything he has at all times?
No, there's a reason Mo Bamba had 8 rebounds in just 21 minutes. Yeah. Mo's like, hey, I'm an NBA player. Everybody, look, I can do this.
And there's something to be said for that, for me, because guys are competing as hard as they possibly can. And, maybe none of these guys develop into premier players or whatever it might be, but I was fine with it.
Being a role player in the NBA for 5 to 7 to 10 years can change your life. Change the rest of your life big time.
Being a role player on the radio, for me, has changed my life.
You're a star.
You can't have co-stars. We're not Lennon and McCartney over here.
The Wizards and the Jazz tonight at 5 o'clock, pregame at 4 on The Zone. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NBA.
The Oklahoma City lost Alex Caruso left hip, Isaiah Hartenstein left calf to injury during their win over the Knicks, 103-100. We talk about it all the time. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander went for 26 points and 8 assists. We talk about it all the time, PK. The number one thing you want going into the playoffs is health, and here we sit in early March, and the Thunder have a couple challenges with the playoffs a little more than a month
Lennon
away.
And McCartney, health! I need somebody! Health! Not just anybody! Health! I don't really care about those teams, man. I'm all over the Hornets. They're my new team.
Because they're flying. Six straight.
They're buzzing.
Buzzing, you're okay. 6 straight wins by 15 points or more. They thumped the Celtics 118-89. A 29-point blowout. They won every quarter of the game. Dominant performance.
They're now above 500.
Unreal. 32-31, baby. Here they come.
And how do they build this thing?
Drafts, more drafts. Still drafting. Not good. Lost decade, but eventually you get it right and you get some guys who can play. And obviously the big old hit in the last draft with Concanipple, who was shooting it well again last night. Made half of his three-pointers, 4 of 8, 20 points.
I rest my case.
Yeah, look at him go. Brandon Miller was obviously a very high draft pick, but
number 2, wasn't he?
Yeah.
LaMelo Ball.
Another high draft pick, yeah.
No room left on the body for a tat. I don't know how he's going to live. I mean, he's young. What's he going to do? He literally can't add any more tats, and he's only 24 years old.
Maxed out. No room at the end.
Unless he goes face.
Ooh.
You like face tats?
No, really don't.
Okay, but you make sure next time you see Mike Tyson, you tell him.
I will. That'll be the first thing I bring up when I talk to Iron Mike.
I've seen Mike Tyson. I've been in his presence.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, he hangs around Vegas,
Vegas all the time.
Yeah.
So you see him at games or whatever.
Saw him in the casino, just hanging out. Say, hey, what's up, Iron Mike? He dropped me.
It's the only part of that story that's believable right there. All the teams that were supposed to lose lost, so no real change in the race to the bottom. Somebody will have to win it. Locke retweeted some stat last night, something about the bottom of the league has lost like a combined 42 in a row, and the streak has to stop tonight because either the Jazz or Wizards are going to have to get a win. So
then change the system. You don't like the law? Change it.
They just might do that this summer, and that won't matter to the Jazz in the short run, I wouldn't think.
I was thinking about this. I've got some great ideas.
Oh, you did? You gonna share them now or later?
Later.
All right. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
You were just lamenting this during yesterday's show. Thursday used to be so big, the week would build, and then there'd be Thursday, Saturday college basketball games. But due to TV, there's games scattered across Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in the Big 12, the Mountain West, and a lot of other power leagues. There are only a few who still play the traditional Thursday-Saturday combo, PK. But tonight,
the Big West and the
WAC,
West Coast
the Big West, yeah. Utah Valley at Southern Utah, UVU, 22-7, 12-4 in league, and if they win, they clinch the 1 seed in the WAC tournament with a win in Cedar City tonight.
Yeah, I think I might go to that game.
9.5-point favorites. I think the odds of you going to that game are 0.
You don't know what I got going.
I got an idea. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
The Rams acquire all-pro cornerback Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs in exchange for a package of 4 draft picks, including first-round pick, the number 29 overall selection. McDuffie is entering the final year of his rookie deal, expected to sign a long-term extension with L.A. And the Chiefs, well, they'll get a lot of young, inexpensive players. We'll see how well they draft and how good those players are. But they leveraged him for 4 draft picks. That's a lot of picks.
It is, yeah, sure.
Dallas Cowboys got themselves underneath the salary cap by restructuring the deals of quarterback Dak Prescott, wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, and left guard Tyler Smith. They were nearly $55 million over the cap before they reworked the deals. They cleared about $66 million in cap space. They got a little room now. They can go out and make some moves in free agency. Aaron Rodgers made an appearance on the Pat McAfee show yesterday and said he remains undecided on what his future holds, despite the Steelers hiring his former coach, Mike McCarthy. He says he has no timeline or deadline to decide on if he will play again this fall. I would think we hear nothing from him until after the draft at the earliest.
I don't know. Why? Why?
Doesn't want someone getting drafted and looking over his shoulder? And he's good enough to think multiple teams will sign him?
So you think some rookie will beat him out?
I think it's unlikely, but I think he's seen that happen a couple times, and he's just not going to mess with it.
He got beat out by a rookie?
No, he's been disappointed they've drafted to back up his position instead of drafting to put players around him.
Just the way Brett Favre was disappointed that they drafted Aaron Rodgers instead of putting people around him.
An excellent example, and one that doesn't bother Aaron a lot, but there are others that do.
As letter carrier said, what go around, come around.
That's a true story.
And did you hear why he continues to work out?
Why?
Oh, I can't say it.
Okay.
Oh, because you'll look it up and you'll know.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
Lou Holtz, who led Notre Dame to the 1988 National Championship, later became a very popular college football TV analyst, passed away at the age of 89 at his home in Orlando, Florida. An incredible career, PK. National championship at Notre Dame, but I think a sign of his greatness is also he won at places where people didn't usually win. Arkansas and Minnesota, and he had success in those places. But he went to Notre Dame and won their only national title in the last 50 years also.
He's one of these guys who is, in terms of legend, is far bigger than any result on the field. And you have to have the result on the field to be able to put yourself in that position. But when you think of Lou Holtz, sure, you think of him as a coach and a coach of Notre Dame most prominently. But there's like 50 other reasons why you think of him. And you listen to ex-players that, and that was all over the place yesterday and probably will continue today, that they didn't really talk about, oh, he taught me how to get, how to do a chip lock and put my hand in the dirt and all this other jargon that they like to talk about. It was about what he was as a leader of young men.
How he influenced people. Yeah.
At the end, as they say, that is far more important than any win or loss. I mean, go read Jerome Bettis' statement. It was deep, and it really didn't matter the record and all that. And so, yeah, I think in terms of the game of college football, he's absolutely a legend on par with the best of the legends.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Team USA tuning up for the World Baseball Classic. Hammers the Colorado Rockies 14-4. World Baseball Classic did get underway. Australia beat Taiwan 3-0. Korea smashed Czechia 11-4 in the opening games in Tokyo. So we are underway, and there was baseball. You watched Australia's shutout last night?
Yeah, I did. I watched some of it. I actually didn't watch it all, but I had the opportunity to be watching when the home runs were hit to account for the runs.
Lozano going deep in the seventh. You were still awake? I wondered when you hit that if you were still hanging on or if you'd cashed it in for the night.
I had not. Was that around 10, maybe a little earlier?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Reds ace Hunter Green set to undergo an MRI on his right elbow. He's dealt with stiffness. He's returning to Cincinnati from Arizona to be looked at by team doctors. He'll also be consulting with the Dodgers team physician, Dr. Neil Elatrache, who is world-renowned.
Oh, world-renowned.
World.
Yeah, Uno Doctor.
Uno Doctor, yes, nice.
That's who he is.
He is the Uno Doctor.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if I were the Reds doctors, I would say, hey, this is so serious, I'll come out to Phoenix. We'll come out to Phoenix. You don't have to fly back to Cincinnati. Far better weather.
leave all the other patients behind.
Why are you leaving Goodyear, Arizona, going back to Cincinnati?
We'll come out
Ohio?
there to check you out.
Yeah.
And I think you need a couple of weeks of intense. We need to look at you for that long. Yeah, absolutely. And if they were smart, that's what they would do.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag golf.
PJ Tour, Bay Hill Invitational, Arnold Palmer's tournament. No local guys in the field, but this is one of the prestigious tournaments I expect will survive whatever realignment we're about to have on the PGA Tour. Go to Bay Hill. Arnie's name's been attached to it. Should be a pretty good field.
Arnie?
Arnie's Army.
Mr. Palmer to you.
Yeah.
Arnie.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
It's a great trade in the sense of adding another great D-man to the already pretty strong defensive core back there. But he brings a wealth of experience. I think what we love about him is his ability to move a puck. He's a gamer, someone that shows up every night, plays a physical brand of hockey. Not the biggest D-man in the world, but he's got a great brain. You know, when you have a D-man like him that can move a puck back there, it creates offense to your forwards. You know, they can get the puck in motion and can attack. And we're a pretty fast team now, so this adds another defenseman to our lineup that's going to make an impact.
The Utah Mammoth making a trade. They get Mackenzie Wigard, defenseman, Calgary Flames, 10-year NHL vet, in exchange for defenseman Alemata, forward prospect Jonathan Castagna, and 3 second-round picks in this year's NHL draft. We will talk about this trade with Cole Bagley. He is joining us for his weekly visit, 8 o'clock this morning. We'll get his lowdown and see what he thinks of the prospect they gave up and how much he thinks this changes the team. With the Jazz leaving Philadelphia, they're putting down the ice so the Utah Mammoth can play in Philadelphia. Tonight, it's the Flyers and the Mammoth, Xfinity Mobile Arena. Puck drops at 5 o'clock. Pre-game coverage on the Zone begins at 4 o'clock as the 5-game road trip continues. They open with a win. See if they can double down and get another one tonight. That's what's trending. It's brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Cole Bagley at 8. Tim Lacombe is here at 8:30. Stay with us. DJ and PK. It's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is Jay Scott and Ben Anderson.
BYU, again, the talent is still there, certainly to win games in the Big 12 tournament and even win games in the NCAA tournament. But it seems like every week when we check back in, we've lowered the bar of what a good showing is going to be. And it's like, are they going to get out of the first weekend of the NCAA tournament? I'm not confident they are now.
Are the stakes ever going to be high enough to get maximum effort? Does that bar exist? And we say to the NCAA tournament, this is a big game. They've got to stop the bleeding. Beating West Virginia on the road was a big game. And I'm not trying to overblow it because that's not my style. But, like, at what point are you going to dig in for a defensive possession?
This is the big question about Darren Peterson right now at Kansas.
I totally agree.
So this is not a BYU problem.
No.
I don't want to make it sound like we're singling out the highest paid players at BYU.
It was a BYU problem against West Virginia.
Absolutely, yeah.
100%.
It is plaguing them as well.
Yes, it is.
It's not just a BYU problem.
No, it's not just a BYU problem, but yes.
Catch Jake and Ben weekdays from 10 to noon on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Join Scotty G tomorrow, noon to 3. Tim Dolly Mazda Southdown, 107-85 South Auto Mall Drive in Sandy. Question of the morning up on our Facebook page, DJ and PK. The Jazz have 20 games left. What is their record going to be? Hit us up on Facebook or David DJ James on Twitter. PK, we have a whole list of people saying 0-20. Justin, 0-20 would be nice. Michael, hopefully 0-20. That'd be great. Okay, they're not going 0-20. They're going to win something.
You don't know that.
Nick says 1-19. Yeah, actually, Nick's got him accidentally winning a game they didn't mean to win.
Well, I got accidentally in love, so I understand that. Our old Mike Strauss. He was sports information for Utah State football.
I remember. Are you going to go to his game notes?
He was back when they had the Big Five huddle. He had come from Oklahoma State.
Uh-huh.
And the record was 0-10-1. And he said that people would ask him, well, what was the record that year?
Yeah.
And he would say, 10-1.
Shifted everything to call him to the left, and it sounded a lot better. 10-1.
Yeah.
Ned thinks 5-15 is my guess. Ned, I don't think there's any chance the Jazz are going to win 5 more games. I would find that very surprising.
So then you have between 1 and 4.
I was thinking 3 or 4 when I saw this. Brian says they probably win 3 to 5 games. I thought Brian's in the neighborhood. 5 seems like a lot to me. At this point in the season, everybody's losing. They're playing young guys. They're playing lineups that they know aren't going to win games. Just see how guys play. And it's, you know, the Wizards at 6 in a row. The Pacers and Jazz at 7 in a row. The Nets have lost 9 in a row. I just think there's going to be a lot of losing by these teams down the stretch. And some of them play each other, so that somebody's got to pick up some wins. The Jazz get 3 or 4. 4 seems to me like the high end. I can't really imagine them winning more than 4 games the rest of the way. They haven't really – I mean, that's just kind of the pace they've been on here. Winning 2 out of 10.
22, 23 wins as the final tally.
Yeah.
Is that where you are?
I would say 21 or 22. 3 or 4 more wins. They've got 18 now. They've won 29% of their games all year, so if they win 20% down the stretch with these lineups, yeah. Maybe they'll underachieve that. Maybe it'll just be 1 or 2. We'll see. I don't know.
Well, that'd
What
be
about
great if that was the case.
Do you have a gut instinct, a gut number?
I think they have the ability to win just about any game.
I get why you say that.
So
but
that makes me nervous relative to keeping the pick.
They run. I think they're going to keep the pick, and
But
I think they're
I'm
going to.
still nervous.
They're
I
going
was
to
nervous last night.
Yeah, they're going to run lineups.
I was nervous against Denver.
They're going to run lineups out there, guys.
Last 2 games, I was nervous.
Nervous. Yeah.
I don't care what the lineups are.
I just think
unless they sit down George.
When he hit those 2 threes, it did occur to me, well, maybe they'll win this. I got to say, I wasn't nervous. There was still a lot of time to go.
Oh, I was nervous.
4.5 minutes.
I was nervous
They gave it up
virtually
pretty
the whole
quick.
game.
The Collier, actually, when Collier got that bucket in transition and they went up 102-100, like, no, they can't do this. But there's only a minute to go at that point. You know, the other team misses a couple shots, you win the game. What are you going to do?
But weren't they up like 100-94?
On the 2 Keontae George threes. Yeah, he hit those 2 threes.
At that point, I'm thinking, oh, my gosh.
He hit one just under the 6-minute mark. I think he hit the other one with like 4:51 or something to go.
With the players they had out on the floor, that was clearly a winnable game, as was the prior one against Denver. Clearly.
It was
They're
winnable.
in these games.
They are in them, and yet they did not win them.
Right, but we're looking to the future, not the past.
I think 3 or 4. I think you're going to watch some of those games, and you're going to see them pull one out at some point. I think the thought that they're going to lose 27 games in a row to end the season, no, they're not.
I understand that.
I don't buy that.
I think they can pull out, if that's the phrase you want to use, 7 to 8 to 9 of them.
If they start that, Keontae's going to sit.
He has to.
Yeah.
He's the only one. If he goes down...
Then you believe in their ability to lose at a high clip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But are they going to do that? Doesn't look like they're going to do that.
If they have to. I think they will if they have to. I think they've shown they will do just about anything if they have to. I think they have a really good front line, and none of them are playing. And they've set other guys along the way. If they were in a playoff push, would Keontae have come back after the All-Star break? I didn't get to examine his ankle, so it's just a guess, but I guess yes.
They had at least a semi or quasi-legitimate reason there, so they could get away with it.
Yeah.
And nobody would get on their backs more than they've already been on their backs, which they've been on their backs. So I'm not going to say nobody would be on their backs because they've already been on it and continue to be on it, so we'll have to see how that plays out. But very rarely has he sat without a literal, at least plausible explanation beyond rest. Now, I don't think they can rest him more than 2 or 3 games without going through a bunch of people just going berserko again.
Yeah.
And if he's there with this team, he has the Jimmer green light.
With the Cougars. He does. He's shown that again and again. Let it fly.
Yeah.
And he's hit some of them. I mean, he's shot the ball reasonably well. There have been individual shots you could say, wow, that was aggressive. That was optimistic.
Yeah, and I think his shooting percentage is a little skewed in that the ball is in his hands, and sometimes he has to take shots that are low percentage, that in a competitive environment with a team striving to make the playoff, he's not going to be doing that.
He took a couple of threes against Denver and made one of them that were he checked threes. One, if it had gone in, I would have been hollering and jumping off my couch. That would have been remarkable. And I don't think to your point, I don't think he would have taken that shot in that possession. If Markkanen and Jackson were on the floor, they would have gotten a better shot.
Yes.
But given who he's on the floor with and where they were in the game, why not? You made the last one, I thought, no. Oh, good shot. He can do that. I mean, when he gets in a zone, look out. Now, the only question is how often can he get in one of those zones and how long can he stay in them? Because when he has it going on, it's spectacular.
Well, I look for him next year to be the potential for a decent level role player.
Yeah, I was thinking that with Jackson, we don't know what kind of moves they're going to make in the summer, but with the lineup we would guess right now, Jackson, Markkanen, Keontae, they score at least 70 points a game between the three of them, maybe 75.
Can only be among. You can't be between the three.
Okay, among the three of them. And I'm not sure how that gets divvied up. I could take a guess, but it's just a guess. And I'll be curious to see how that works. It's where do you want to go, but then how does the team defend you, and do you have to go to a second or third option because they overplay one guy?
But he'll be fine in whatever option as a secondary option, whether it's 2, 3, 4, it doesn't really matter. And there'll be nights when he'll be the primary because
he'll get
Iron Man Markkanen ain't exactly lacing him up every game.
So as much as they sit him, and it's because they sit him when they really want to play him 82 games in a row, we also don't have any evidence that he can do it when they want it. So
right, there's zero. He hasn't done it ever.
No.
I would expect him, as I saw in somebody's fake injury report, out. And in parentheses, facial beautification.
That's funny, whoever came up with that. We need more fake injury reports from the NBA.
Yeah.
Facial beautification. Can't go, Coach. Got the hot towels going.
Well,
need the night off.
Doesn't he seem like a spa kind of
guy? He doesn't seem to have a beard or any. Yeah, it does so.
And he got the Jerry curl with the hair and all. Doesn't he look beautiful? Right? Am I wrong here, people?
Topics I didn't know we were going to discuss.
If I'm wrong, let me know. Doesn't he seem a little on the pretty side? Come on. I mean, I got to be the one who's going to say it.
You want some facial scars? Toughen them up.
Well,
if you don't have a beard, you can't grow a beard. You can't grow a beard.
I don't care
Scraggly.
about that.
Well, you need something.
Well, you can
shave the head.
No, you can be as pretty as you
Joker?
want as long as you play 82. I don't care. But when I say pretty, I'm not just listening it based on facial hair and looks.
Yep.
He's sort of a pretty kind of guy.
The next 70-game season he plays will be his first one in the NBA, and he's coming up on a decade.
I want to.
This is 9 years in now.
Be able to call him Iron Man Markkanen. So with him sitting out 20, 30 games.
It's going to create more opportunity for other guys to get shots, sure. And Keontae should benefit from that.
Opportunity for George to go step in that role and
get those
build upon what he's done this year.
Go get those FGAs.
And make them. Yeah. And be a leader on this team. And he wants to win. He's the one saying, whoop-de-doo on the stats if you don't win. That's what he just basically just said. We just played it.
I got 30, but let's not go crazy. We don't win the game.
Yeah.
Right.
So clearly he wants to win. He's established himself as an NBA player. If the Jazz cut him today, there'd be 20 teams trying to pick him up. Right? So he's an NBA player. He doesn't have to worry about survival in the league anymore. That has been accomplished. Now, how good can you be? And if Iron Man's sitting over there because the what do they call that?
Facial beautification.
When they fix your nails, if they got cut.
Manicure?
Yeah. I knew you would know. Uh-huh. And so when he got the manicure and he can't go tonight, now it's time for the backcourt, It's a Wonderful Life, of George Bailey to step up. I'm expecting both of those young men to have improvement, a fairly decent level of improvement next season based on what we've seen this year. Yeah. And it's shocking to me that people haven't picked up. I'm giving them It's a Wonderful Life, a George Bailey backcourt. Use it, people.
Let's go. We need a marketing campaign.
I'm too old to get any more credit.
Nah, you're never too old for credit.
I don't need it. I don't want it. Validation is not part of my game anymore. What?
You're funny.
So I expect George to do well, and I expect him to do well over this final 20. And when he plays, it makes me nervous that the team can win. And I only need to look back at these last two games.
And yet they didn't win. So if I told you...
That doesn't matter.
If I told you 3-17... Well, you don't want him getting blown out either, though. You don't want him non-competitive.
I know. I get it. I agree. You're right.
You're going to be stressed or worried no matter what happens. But in the end, I think it's going to be all right.
When he plays, this is my statement. I am nervous about them winning. Yes. And look at the last 2 games. And when you factor in, as you said, the crappy teams who are trying to lose too.
Yep, and they've got some of them on their schedule.
Right.
Somebody's going to have to win. This is just the first of 2 with the Wizards. We get to watch this one again. Yay!
I was so stressed about the games against the Pelicans that I went out of town.
Nice. You were going either way.
That's the reason.
So I didn't have to watch them.
And yet they found a way to lose those babies.
I know, but as the week was All-Star break, I was thinking that's potentially 2 wins. I was hoping Zion, please don't play. Really. We've come this far, it simply cannot happen.
I think in this 7-game losing streak, they have had 5 winnable games. And when I thought going into the stretch, I thought 5 of them were winnable. And then ironically, one I thought they'd lose for sure, Denver. Well, Denver's really struggling and playing poorly now, and that ended up being very competitive. And yet, they didn't win it in the end.
And my stomach was in knots.
Wasted energy, PK.
Yeah, but you don't know that at the time.
Yeah,
it's easy to sit back after. You thought that would no.
I thought they were going to lose the game.
Yeah, you thought that going in. But I'm talking about when the game is actually being played. You thought for every second of that 48 minutes, they're going to lose, they're going to lose, they're going to lose. No freaking way.
There's no way I was 100% sure they were going to lose. But at the same time, I wasn't worried.
As the game is progressing and it's down to a 1-possession game late, no way. Because I have enough faith in these guys that even with the lineups that they're playing,
that's why I told you
they've
they
got
need
players that are capable of making plays.
It's why I told you they need a veteran guard if they really want to win in the playoffs next year. And you said, hey, they got Keontae, and he's had big games. But in the last 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, when the pressure gets big, a veteran guard like Jamal Murray in Denver is way more likely to make shots than Keontae.
Okay, get Jamal Murray then.
They're not going to go get Jamal Murray. He's not going to be available.
A player like him. That's it, yeah. And get him a veteran center and a veteran power forward and 5 veterans off the bench. Sure.
I thought going down the stretch, it's more likely Tyrese Maxey makes shots than anybody on the Jazz. It's tight, but they're probably going to do this. And those are the guys who make the shots and win the games in the biggest possessions. Yeah. And it's not perfect. They miss shots, and I after the call your layup, I thought, they just have to miss a couple shots.
He was 8 of 22, 2 of 10.
Murray had a great shot, or had a great game against the Jazz, but he had a big turnover late in that game. I mean, once you're down to 1 or 2 possessions, anything can happen. But most of the time, they're not going to pull it off. And to your point, I think they will. I think they're going to win 3 or 4 games down the stretch.
When that ball against Denver was tossed over to Flipper, and he was wide open in front of the Nuggets bench.
I did not know what would happen, but I kind of expected him to miss.
My gosh, man. You don't
he was wide open, his feet were set. Because I look at him, what is he, like a 30, low 30s? I'd have to look up I don't know what his percentage is right now.
Man, you're worse than Locke. You think these guys really suck.
I don't think they're going to win a lot of close games right at the end.
It doesn't.
I think they're going to win 3 or 4
at that time. It's not a lot of close games. It's that shot at that time. If he hits that, I am not in the least bit surprised.
Yeah, 33% 3-point shooter, and probably the better because that was a quality shot.
Which means he makes 33% of his shots.
1 to 3 shot of it going in, and you could argue maybe even a little better because to your point, he was open, his feet were set. These aren't all. There wasn't a good, strong closeout on him.
No.
So
I'm not sitting there assuming he's going to miss it. Give me a 1 in 3 chance I win the lottery. I'll play it every time. Every time.
I know.
Give me a 1 in 3 chance that the next plane I get on is going to crash. I'm not getting it on.
Get on the plane. I believe in their ability to lose because they're trying to.
Filipowski is not trying to lose. I disagree 100%.
He is not, but the organization is, and they're making decisions.
But that's over there. But
the lineups they put out there.
They're not making any decision. They didn't say, pass it to Flipper because he's going to lose. He's going to miss the shot, and we're going to lose. They're not making any decisions along those lines.
I agree with that, and that's why I don't think they're going to go win 20 down the stretch. And that's why I'm telling you they're going to win 3 or 4 games.
It's not about that. I would agree with you, of course.
No,
You look at odds. You would be so boring to take to the racetrack. Oh, he's 1 to 10. You'll win a dime. There's no joy in winning a dime. I get that. So yeah, they're going to win 3 or 4. You just pick the most obvious answer,
and it's going to be the right answer too.
But that doesn't change the fact that they could do more and lose this pick. I have more faith in these youngsters than you and Locke combined.
All right, we'll leave it right there for now.
And
there
I'll
you go.
tell you,
20 games to go. And also, I think if they win 3 or 4, I think they're one of the 5 worst teams in the league, and I think they keep the pick.
If that's the case, then fine. Yeah. So, the bottom line is keep the pick.
Yeah.
Whether you go 20-0 or 0-20, it doesn't matter. It's all about keeping the freaking spot and see where the balls fall when we get to that time when it's revealed. That's all that matters. The record doesn't matter. We're just talking about assumptions based on winning and losing where they fit. And I was thinking about this. Got to fix the tanking. And I'm going to throw another suggestion. And I
Is
like
that
this.
next?
Oh.
All right, tanking.
If you dare.
Tanking suggestion. He'll fix everything. Next, stay with us.
Just a bunch of guys sitting around and talking sports. This is Scotty G and Friends.
Jonathan Tavenari, you've been pretty vocal about effort and just the little intangibles that you're not quite seeing from this BYU team. Is it surprising that they're not showing up in those areas of the game?
BYU losing is not the problem. It's how they're losing. They're not diving for loose balls, 50-50 balls. The other team always ends up with them. I mean, look at the last possession on a 74-71 game, and they missed a shot, and you got 5 people standing and watching. That to me what's frustrating, right? So I will say this, it is extremely difficult to see a lack of effort from these guys that are getting NIL money. This is not 10 years ago where you were just playing for a scholarship. These guys are getting $150, $200, $300,000 to put up that effort. That's the part that's the most difficult for me.
Catch Scotty G and Friends weekdays from noon to 3 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ PK, Tankathon 2020 continues. Jazz with 20 games to go. They will be considering rule changes this summer. PK, what would you throw into the pot? What is the best idea while they come up with the other ideas? What do you have?
Well, I think the best idea is simply opening it up to all 30 teams. And that would be just a phenomenal show. It'd be better than the actual All-Star game. But they're not going to do that. It's too bold. And I live my life left of the line. They don't. They're like you. You go to the racetrack, oh, I like this horse, and you win a dime. They're not going to be that bold. So you got to come up with other alternatives. How about dividing them into 5s, recognizing that you come up short one at the back end, right? Because there's 14 that don't make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't have.
So you got a group of 5, kind of the A group, another group of 5, the B group, and then the last 4, 11 through 14.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you finish with the 5th worst record.
Mm-hmm.
You get the number 1 pick. You finish with the 4th worst record. You get the number 2 pick. Right? You follow me?
Yeah.
So you finish with the worst record, you get the 5th pick.
Well, they'll still be tanking, but there would be different forms of tanking.
Right. You're never going to have a
non-tank.
Unless you just open it up.
Right.
And
that's just going to lead to another set of problems. Well, that club got it because they favored it. The league fixed it. They wanted that player in that city. Big market, hometown guy, whatever it is. The conspiracy theorists will always go nuts. They'll always be complaining.
Okay, then do it alphabetically.
Do what? The draft?
No.
Rotate through the alphabet?
Yeah. So you would go, if you want to do it that way, so the Atlanta Hawks would get the number 1 pick this year. And then are the Jazz the last?
UVW, Washington.
Washington, okay.
Yeah.
So then Washington would get the 29th, but then the following year they would get, or they'd get the 30th, I guess, Washington. But then the following year they'd get the 1st. So have it set in stone, and then you never have to worry about any favoritism, this or that, right? It's like basically fantasy drafts. You go 1 through 10, and you draft 10th, and you also draft 11th, so to speak, or 1st in the second round. They don't do rounds usually in fantasy drafts, but you get the point. So you're right. It's never going to be eliminated completely unless you went something that is deemed too outrageous. So with that in mind, you're always going to have some loopholes in teams. You're never going to get rid of it in its purest ultimate form. But you're trying to eliminate as much as possible. right? And trying to make games competitive, which what I think in this case for the Jazz, they are playing competitively. They aren't playing their best players, but they're playing competitively. You cannot argue that the players that take the floor and have uniforms on are trying to win.
Yep.
We've seen enough tanking now for 4 seasons to be experts at that.
We do know
I'm
what we're
Frankie
looking at.
Valli over here in the 4 seasons. I've seen them. Of course, that is Francisco Castelluccio to you.
I'll take your word for it.
Yes, North Jersey.
The Sixer game though
soil.
the Sixer game was very competitive, and then Denver Nugget game before that very competitive.
Right.
There've been a bunch of them. It's odd as they played these younger guys, there've been way less of those 35-point debacles that you just had to be paid to watch. Since people were just turning them off left and right.
So
that's in the rearview mirror.
How about going 5th worst gets you first? So then those teams.
Yeah, the team with the 6th or 7th worst record right now. The Jazz would just be eyeing, and Dallas would be just tanking left and right because they're 6th right now, and the Jazz are 5th, and
So
Dallas
now
has
you're
one
down
more
to
win.
2 or 3 instead of 10.
And Sacramento would be fully motivated. Hey, we can't be finishing with the worst record. We got to pick it up.
Right.
But
yes.
Teams 6, 7, and teams 11, 12 would be, well, I guess 5 and 10 would also be very motivated. 5 and 10 would be losing to hold on to their spot. 6, 7, and 11, 12 would be all in on it.
In on?
Trying to lose. Because they're about to move up dramatically, right? If you're 11th and you can get to 10, all of a sudden you move up 5 spots in the draft. Yeah, that team will be tanking like crazy.
Mm-hmm. And what does 5 spots get you? That's all it gets you.
Yeah.
It's 5 spots. Doesn't necessarily get you a player.
Nope. No, been plenty of bad picks.
Yeah.
At 6. I mean, there have been people who drafted 6 who've looked at Steph Curry and passed. Oh, well.
Yeah. Try something that is easily implemented immediately, but also you're not necessarily married to it. I don't know why we expect people to have perfection in their ideas. They can say,
because we have high standards.
Yeah, but you're also dealing with some brainy people on the end who are going to
try to find a
things
loophole
that you didn't
immediately.
think of.
Yeah, they're immediately going to try to find a loophole.
So you do this. Hey, let's try it for the next 2 years or 3 years, whatever it might be. And then if it doesn't work, then you change it again.
The problem with demanding perfection is that then people get afraid to make a decision, and then you just get paralysis, and people won't try anything, even if what's happening isn't working, because nobody wants to be wrong. It's like sometimes you just have to chance, and if you're wrong, you're wrong, and then you make another decision.
They have made wrong choices virtually every time they try to finagle the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Now, there's low consequences. People don't really care that much. Yeah. But the league apparently cares, and the TV partners care enough to do something.
They'd like a big weekend of ratings.
Yeah, right. I mean, every day. Yeah. It's supposed to be a showcase, and it's not. But they're trying. And so why not try here? You don't have to have the perfect one right off the bat. I've given them 2 outstanding suggestions and will ask nothing in return.
Totally free. That's the beauty of you.
Right. Like you hear constantly, we are now almost 20 years past Magic Happens. But I never receive any credit anymore. No. And without me, there is no Magic Happens.
That went away pretty quickly.
It became a universal statement, and nobody remembers.
People tried to steal it right away, and then I think there might have been a cease and desist letter sent. For
Magic happens.
Yeah. Thank you, Robert. And also,
Magic happens.
We're now, literally this year, 40 years removed from you're letting down 9 million Mormons. Without me, that never happens. I worked 2 freaking years on that moment and had to convince my boss go over his head to let me fly down and get that immortal, infamous, live forever moment.
Do you ever drop I told you so, or you just look at them and you both
You
know?
didn't need to.
Yeah.
When you're right, you don't need to. It stands on its own.
Uh-huh.
You can kiss my big fat class.
So you just look at them and you know.
The world knows. The journalistic world knows who got those.
DJ PK, when we come back, the Mammoth making a trade. How big an upgrade is it? Cole Bagley next. Stay with us.